welcome you to the next course in the CoachAdvisor Masterclass, which is 7 steps to hire the right coach, consultant, or mentor and avoid wasting tens, if not hundreds of thousands of dollars on crap that won't help you. All right, so, we just zipped away there. In review, if you've been watching this and listening to this course, we have covered in the last several classes some very important critical things to make sure that you don't get into the wrong programs for you, right? So one of the things that we covered, super important, is where you are in what we call critical path, meaning where are you in your business development so that you are focused on the exact right thing that you need in order to get to the next level. The other topic that we talked about is what is the best type of support for you, right? Everyone has different types of support, whether it be training courses, online courses, workshops, private coaching, group coaching, and my recommendation from that was to really find the best possible advisor for the type of support that you need for you. And then in our last course, we started to really open the kimono and we started to look at spotting some of the shady marketing and sales techniques that are out there in the marketplace, so that when you get approached to, buy something, or you're at an event and you're looking to buy something, I want to make sure that you don't get into that place where you're buying something because you're reverse motivated, meaning you're afraid for something not to happen, so then you're buying something. So today we are going to be talking about how to actually choose your providers. Because let's just say, as an example, you are in the brand development phase. Well, there's lots and lots of different people out there that do branding. There's people all the way from people that actually do branding to people that are graphic designers that will kind of say like, oh, I'm going to do your brand and your website for you, but they're actually just graphic designers, right? Like that's one example. So knowing really what it is that you're looking for is super important. And if you're hiring an expert or you're hiring someone to work with you, it's really important that you pick a provider that's going to be in alignment with you. Because again, imagine you're sitting in a seminar room, someone comes up stage, they're talking about something, you're like, yes, this seems like this is what I need, but is that the right person for you to get it from, right? So that's what we want to look at today. All right, so I want to give you a couple different quick tips as to what to look for. So the first thing is, it depends on what you're hiring for, right? So are you hiring an expert? Are you hiring a mentor? What specifically are you hiring for? So the first thing that I want to say is, if you are hiring like someone to mentor you or to train you or to provide you with that expert guidance, you need to make sure they are ahead of you, meaning that they're at the next level. They have a proven track record and they are at the next level. So that's the first thing that you need to look at. I remember one time hiring someone who called themselves a business coach, although thank goodness that actually wasn't why I was hiring this person. And I was hiring them for a different component. They taught a lot of mindset stuff. But when they actually were trying to give me business coaching, I was leaps and bounds ahead of them, and they were actually taking notes on my strategies. So now, again, thank goodness that's not what I was hiring them for. I was hiring them for a different purpose. But you need to make sure that when you are hiring someone, that they are at a level and at a place in business that you want to be at. So double checking their track record. The other thing is specialized expertise. I was at a party this weekend with a good friend of mine, Brian Williams, who actually teaches people. You guys are going to be able to see him shortly. He teaches people how to hire people, like marketing professionals. And one of the questions he says that is his key to being able to find someone to hire for specific things, especially in marketing, is what is the one thing that you're best at? So I agree with this. What is the one thing that the person that you're hiring is best at? When you are looking for someone, you are generally, you're not going to want a generalist, right? You want a specialist. So what is, again, you know where you are in critical path. What is the one thing that they are absolutely brilliant at? And if someone comes back and says to you, well, that's a great question. I don't really know. I do a lot of things. I can do this and that and the blah, 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 blah. That means they are a jack of all trades and a master of none. And you likely do not want to hire that person. In fact, under certain circumstances, run. You want someone who has specialized expertise. The next thing that you want to look for is an alignment of values, right? So as in any relationship that you get into, you want an alignment of values. And with that alignment of values, as an example, if you are someone who integrity is a really big value for you, you probably only want to do business with someone who has integrity, right? A very high level of integrity. If high performance and moving extremely quickly is important for you, you are not going to want to hire someone who is really like, kind of more like, we'll just kick back and you guys will drive each other crazy, right? So you want to look at someone who has those values, as well as the next one, which is personality and style, right? If you are someone, there's different people out there, and the same goes to be true when you're hiring someone in your when you are hiring someone in your company where you want to make sure you have a good cultural fit. What you want to do is you want to look and make sure that they have a similar, like a personality and style that is going to work for you. When I'll give you a personal example. I've hired a mentor in marketing before, and I was looking at two different people, and one of them is a woman, and this particular woman, who is a brilliant, brilliant marketer, I have mad respect for her, and she also is a woman, and again, there's nothing wrong with this, so before you guys start sending me hate mail, she's very emotional. She loves to cry on stage. She's extremely feminine. Again, all of those things are amazing for the right person. That's not the consultant I want. The person I ended up hiring is more like a drill sergeant. I generally tend to hire in that realm men, because that works better for me. But you've got to figure out which works better for you. Do you want someone who's going to kick your ass and hold you at a high level? Or do you want someone who's going to give you hugs and snuggles when you're having a hard day, right? Or do you want a combination of both? Again, you just got to look at their personality and their style and figure out what works well for you. Do you want someone who is very straight-laced, very kind of dry sense of humor, just to the facts, a strategic person? Or do you want someone for you that is more fun-loving and zany and zestful and big personality? And again, neither one is right, neither one is wrong. It's just, which one do you resonate with more? So you need to start looking at those things, because those are going to be important in your working relationship. The next one I want to talk about is availability. So again, this doesn't obviously really apply to group people, but if you're hiring someone privately or you're hiring a vendor, how do you want the working relationship to look. Now, sometimes finances dictate this. I mean, obviously you can't pay someone, you know, $100 a month or $1,000 a month and expect them to be at your beck and call. Like, that's generally not going to work if you're hiring someone good, right? But, you know, I remember trying to hire someone for Facebook ads as an example, and like literally couldn't get the person on the phone to answer my questions about the proposal. And they were like I just couldn't even get them on the phone. And I was ready to pull the trigger and go, but they were like, well, I don't usually talk to people on the phone. Can we talk over Messenger? Why don't you put your questions in here and I'll answer them for you? No, it didn't work for me. I'm like, no, like if you can't even answer my questions in a proposal for a proposal of services and you want to do that over Messenger, like this isn't, I'm a person who likes personal connection. That's not going to work for me. So you need to double check, like, what is their availability to you in providing a service? Are they someone who's really rigid and structured? Like, look, I will only talk to you on Mondays at noon, which is our appointed meeting time. Again, it depends on what you're looking for. It may work, it may not, but this is something you need to check into. And then finally, again, like their work style. How does their work style jive with you? You know, I'm trying to think of an example of work style. Here, I can tell you one. I don't like to hire people to run things in my company that are not super organized and run their business like a business. Again, I'll give you an example. I hired a sales team. On that sales team, part of what they were supposed to be managing was like doing weekly check-ins, having reports, being able to send us reports of exactly what was going on. That never happened because they don't have any systems, because all they're really doing is driving, you know, they're making sales for their own sales company and then sticking a salesperson in there and hoping to God it works out and then addressing issues as it comes up. That is not a good fit. When I work with someone, like I've had the same Infusionsoft person for about a year, you know, when we're in the midst of a project, they're sending me reports. They're being on top of their tasks. You know, they stick to deadlines. They're very organized. I need that in my business. I don't want to loosey-goosey it, right? Now you might be different, right? So what is the way that you work, and what kind of work style do you want to have from those individuals? You need to make sure that those are complementary, or that they're at least to a certain level complementary. So that is what you are going to be looking for when you're hiring someone specific, because again, with very few exceptions, there's a lot of people out there that are offering different services. So you want to find the best right person for you, someone who has that information, they have the track record of success, they've got that specialized expertise, and quite frankly, you enjoy working with them, right? It's fun for you. It doesn't feel stressful. It doesn't feel like you're pulling teeth, or you have to drag them along, or you have to, you know, this and that and the other thing, that that you're not constantly feel like you're pushing a boulder uphill, because that is not going to be fun for very long. So making sure that you're clear about what it is that you want is very helpful in you making sure you get the right fit person. You know, and then when, again, we start to go into our next course, which is all about how to vet people and the questions you ask, we will be able to start flushing some of these things out. You know, again, on our team, we don't hire anyone who can't hit their deadlines. Like if they're a person that just blows off deadlines right and left, and, you know, is not going to keep up with their end of the agreement, they're basically, if they're not acting like a real business, we don't hire them, because it will not be a good fit for our company. So I want you to get really clear this week about what exactly you want in a provider. And then next week, we are going to be talking about, or at the next call, we are going to be talking all about how to vet them, to make sure that those people are aligning with what it is that you desire, so that you get the best right fit for you in your business and you don't waste money. All right, guys, if you have questions, comments, anything that you want to share, any of your stories, let us know. We'd love to hear what they are, and looking forward to speaking to you on our next class, How to Vet Your Providers. Talk to you soon, everyone. Bye-bye.